Welcome back to CAD 101 Inventor. If your Extrude keeps doing the wrong thing, you're probably picking the wrong operation. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see students make, not understanding the difference between new bodies, joins, and cuts when it comes to extruding. So in this video, we're building this bracket step by step using rectangles, circles, and fully defined sketches. But more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly when to use new body, when to use join, and when to cut. Because once you understand that, your parts start behaving the way you expect. Let's jump into Inventor and build this the right way. All right, this is the part we're getting ready to model here in Inventor. So you can see we've kind of got an L bracket, angle bracket here. We've got essentially, just talking through this part before we get into modeling it, we've got a rectangular shape as the base. It's extruded. We then have another skinnier rectangular portion that is sketched and extruded off the top of that. And then we've got two holes, one on that lower right part, and then one through that upper lip. We're going to go ahead and ignore, for this purposes, that GD&T call out right here, the 3-3 with the arrow. We're also just going to do this as a through hole. We've not yet covered threads, so we're going to ignore this and just make this a through hole. So, all right, so here we are in Inventor. First thing we always do is we save. We're going to call this part 3. Let's do this the right way, Mr. McDonald. We're going to call this my name. So it's the video one, so we're going to go Drip King 513. For my CAD 101 class, section 2, this is assignment 6, and it's part 3. Okay, first thing we always do is we start our 2D sketch. So we click on Start 2D Sketch. We're going to start sketching this on the XZ plane. So I'm going to right click on there. Not a fan of the way that Inventor does this, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate my view cube so that way my positive XY is up here in the upper right hand corner. To me, it just mentally makes it easier for me to process. We're starting by making a rectangle coming off the origin. Always critical to use the origin in our sketches so that way things get fully constrained and fully defined early on with ease. Our part is 80 inches wide and 35 inches deep. So there we go. We're good. We're doing well. So we are fully defined, fully constrained right now. For those of you who followed along in my other CAD softwares, oftentimes I would have you sketch all of this at once. So I'm going to show you what happens in Inventor when we do this. So we're going to start by making this same circle, or this circle that's on the top, and that has a diameter of 12. And then we're going to dimension it out. Okay, we actually sketched it in the right place, 17.5 from here to here. This one is 22. Okay, so we are still fully constrained, so we're good. And that's really everything that comes off this part. Actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do that rectangle as well for the part that comes off it. This is 12 inches wide. Should be 35. No longer fully constrained, so we need to do the dimensions. So we really just need to know, looking at our drawing, from here to the far edge of it, this is 57 inches. There we go. So we are fully constrained once again. So we can go ahead and hit Finish Sketch. So this is where my complaint with Inventor comes in. So in my Fusion classes, first step we would do here is we would make our base. So that's, excuse me, the rectangle. So we extrude, click all of our parts, and we'll actually leave that through hole blank. And the thickness of this part is 12 inches. So at this point, we've got our base with our hole. Now I originally had sketched that rectangle, and I'm sorry, going to go back into this extrude, and I'm going to flip it and make it go down. So that way at this point, that sketch is still sitting on the top. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. But as you can see, the sketch is now gone. The way you're able to reuse sketches in Inventor is one of two ways. So if I come over here to the tree and open up that extrusion, which now has, inherited that sketch, if I left click and drag and bring it up one, it makes a copy of it. So now I could actually use it. All right. So since we've gone it through and we've copied that sketch up here in the tree, you now can see it. We're going to go ahead and just do the extrude. Pick that inner rectangle there and do the height on this. This is 35 inches, so 35. So here in our output, we've got join, we've got cut, and we've got new solid. So when we did the very first one, we went ahead and that was new solid by default. In this case, because we want to make this at one solid piece, we're going to do a join. So that combines this rectangular base with this more taller vertical lip that's coming off it. So now they're all one base. So if you see when I hover over the face or the side of this, the whole kind of upside down T all highlights. All right, so we are about 90% of the way done with this. The last thing we need to do is make the through hole that's on this face. So we're going to start a 2D sketch. We're going to click on this face. And we're going to pick our center diameter circle. We're going to sketch it here in the middle. So we can make it actually halfway in the middle by hovering over the top edge of it until we get that dot, which is our center point dot, kind of come down. Now we've got that dotted line, reference line going on. Then I'll left click. The diameter of this is 18 inches. And now if I do my dimensions from the center dot to the top, this is 17.5. And then center dot to the far edge, that is also 17.5. Fully constrained, hit finish, do our extrude, select our circle. Again, we don't want to do a new solid or a join, we're going to do a cut. Inventor is smart, it realizes, hey, we're going this direction, so it automatically flipped it. And since it's a through hole, we're going to do through all. I could also click this other button, which is 2, and then spin to the back. So if I do 2, spin to the back, it will now always cut to the back of that. The danger of doing all is if I were to put another part over here or put a secondary wall kind of on this edge, it would go through everything in that plane. That hole would be infinitely long that way. Whereas 2, it stops once it hits that spot that I've said. And that's it. We'll go ahead and we'll hide these sketch dimensions. So we'll over here in the tree, right click on sketch 1, make sure our dimension visibility is unchecked. And there we go. So we'll hit the home in the view cube, get that isometric view going, and that is our part. And just like that, you've got a fully built bracket. But more importantly, you now understand the difference between new body, join, and cut. And that's one of the most important concepts in CAD. If your parts weren't behaving before, this is usually one of the reasons why. If you're trying to actually learn CAD, not just click buttons, make sure you hit subscribe. This is CAD 101, Drip King style. Next up, part 4, where we take everything you've learned so far and level it up even more. Don't stop here though, keep going through the full Inventor series so those skills actually stick. And if you came from one of the shorts, this is exactly how those designs are actually built. I'll see you in part 4.